Okay. What's going on, LBHT Crew B? What is going on?
It's hate week, right?
Let's whoa, the brothers fight. Once brothers, now
my knife over there.
Yeah. I don't know where I put my bat. Hey, look, it's rivalry week, brothers rivalry. Watch out. How's everybody doing? Hope your week is going well, but if not, hopefully it gets better starting right now. Man, listen, your boy's hurting. I am hurting. I feel like I'm sick, but I know I'm not sick because I've taken every immunization known to mankind. Okay, I went to the doctor yesterday expecting to get just 2 shots. And they said, "Oh, actually, you need 4." It felt like 1,000. Okay, and I was like, "All right." I took it well because I hate needles, but I was like, "All right, I took it well." I woke up this morning. Everything hurts. But listen, doing the show always makes me feel better, and I'm already starting to feel better because our friends are here. Look who's here. B. Shaheen is in the house. Says hashtag LBHT Crew. Let's get that win for the Ravens and the number 1 pick for the Panthers.
So it's a win-win, Shaheen.
Listen, Shaheen, Shaheen is with it. He's with the program. Okay, he understands the agenda. Okay, our agendas are all lined up. So listen to Shaheen. Brandon Basil, what's going on? Said, what's up? What's up with you? He says Baker still can't escape Jackson. Man, ain't that the truth? Can't escape anybody. Our guy Hendo Ravens Online Ungatekeeper says hashtag LBH Crew. What it do? It is the best time of the week. Hey, I appreciate that. D Weezy's in the house says make sure to hit the live button. Appreciate you, D Weezy. Shout out to you, man. Thanks for coming through. Top billing in the house says the media press asked a weird question regarding Baker and Lamar's mom. I was completely confused by
yeah, it was based on, it was actually Rita, NFL chick, that asked him. It was based off of a question or a comment that Baker had made in a press conference. It's just Lamar hadn't heard it, so he was just confused and didn't know what she was talking about.
Oh, okay. Shout out to Tracy. What's going on, Tracy? He says here to listen to my 2 favorite guys. Oh,
what's up, Tracy?
Thank you. Hope all is well. Hope all is well with you. Alfonso Richardson says, "What's good? What's good with you?" DDSQUE says, "What's good, fellas?" Hey, what's good with you? Thanks for coming through. One Session is in the house. Our newest patron, One Session. Yes. Thank you. Appreciate the support. Says, yeah, that question about Baker and Lamar's mom was super weird and unnecessary. All right, we'll unpack that later. I actually hadn't heard it, but
yeah, and I put your coin and the cards in the mail. You should have gotten them maybe today, but I'll check on that later. Just let me know.
Yes. All right, and Danity's in the house says, I'm shaking in my boots. Hey, guys. Hey, Danity. We got our boy Rock in the house. What's going on, Rock? Yes. Hey, thank you, Davon. Davon says, feel better. I appreciate that. Andre Mears is in the house says, what's up, LBHT? LOL, I'm going to my first game to see B's Panthers get spanked.
Now I do hope they win. Thank you, Andre.
B won't listen. B won't. He'll glow a little bit, but on the inside he'll be crushed if they get another win. Yeah. They're what, the number 3 spot right now.
And they're hanging on by a thread.
It's a tight battle for number 1 and number 2 spot. That's what the Panthers need to get the quarterback of B's of his choosing. But Chris from Deep Cover Podcast, Chris Just Joking, believes there are a few quarterbacks in this draft. So at some point we're gonna get Chris on the show so he can give you a little bit of ray of hope if you don't land the top 2 spot. Okay,
there's more than a few. It's just how many of them are gonna be good.
Well, he thinks it's gonna be. He thinks it's more than 2. He thinks it's more than 2.
We'll see.
Ray Veron says, "What up, LBHT? I see the Nets going. Got one of them 1970s leather brown belt butt weapons. Yes.
How you give a 153 to the Kings?
So some of you guys, most of you guys probably don't remember this when your parents used to snap the belt right before they peel off some skin from your behind. Yeah, that's what we got. And we're gonna talk about the Nets too. Yeah, man, not looking good, but it's all good. Okay, we're gonna talk about that. I'm gonna tell you why I think it's all good, and it might be all good for the Lakers as well. What's going on, Shug? Shug Knight 323 says hashtag LBHT crew, Mr. J the Six, MDT Sports, Darius Simmons, the Wonderkin Show. What's going on? Nitro, thanks for coming through. I think I got everybody, man. Agent E, as always, man. Thanks for coming through. Appreciate you guys. Darren is here. Says, I'm just here to see if LBHT put some respect on Kirk's name. Oh,
was that Kirk making that one-handed catch off of that throw that was definitely an interception?
Hey. Well, hey, we can talk about that too. What's going on? Just Aloe, Deshaun, what's going on? Says, my guys, how about the Nets and Lakers? Okay.
Listen, you don't get to talk when your team is also under 500.
That's right. He said, I ain't come here to talk about that, though. Z the Beast, what's going on? Okay, yes. I think I got all the shout-outs out the way. We are streaming live on YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook, and Twitch. So go ahead, hit that like button. Follow over there if you're watching over there. Whatever you do on Twitch, I still haven't figured out what it is.
You're so old.
I am. I completely neglect that, but we are live over there. If you're a Twitch streamer or you're into Twitch streams, what's going on, Coach? Sip Too Tight Films is in the house. Coach? Appreciate you coming through.
Deshaun says they're the defending champs. But here's the thing, though, Deshaun, you're the defending champs in fantasy football too. How's that working out for you this year?
Hey, season ain't over.
It's different. It's not the same.
Season ain't over.
It's not the same.
All right. So listen, like I said, we're streaming live. If you are listening to the audio version of this, it is Thursday afternoon. So hope your lunch is going well. All right. And also make sure you follow us and leave a 5-star review. That helps us grow on the audio side of things. So it is greatly appreciated. All right. Look, it's Ravens and Panthers week. We're going to break down this game. We already started talking about the Nets and Lakers. We're going to be talking about that, and we're going to be giving our NFL Week 11 picks. And I just want to say, man, the overtime show I think is going to be a good one, right? If you're not signed up to our Patreon, patreon.com/LBHT Show is how you can do it for as little as $3 a month. I think we're going to have. I usually do this later in the show, but I'm going to give you a quick sneak peek of the overtime show. Let me see if I can find it here. Here it is. Boom. What are Lamar Jackson and Bud Crawford doing on the thumbnail? What are they doing there? And we have a topic that is talking about both of them. What do the two of them have in common? Well, both of them represent themselves. Okay. And we're going to talk about the positives of representing yourself in negotiations as an athlete and the negatives.
You don't know that it's negative yet.
Not yet. We don't know. I
mean, we know, but it's not confirmed yet.
So we're going to discuss that in the overtime show, as well as the Raiders owner Mark Davis being a broke boy who can't afford to fire his coach. So I mean, look, we got a lot to get into. So let's get into it. But first, we like to start every show with a Black History fact, and B has a Black History fact for you.
Okay, I thought you were gonna hit the thing there, but that's all right.
Oh, my bad.
No, that's okay. That's all right.
So do you not like the ticker anymore here, or?
Well, I mean, I stopped doing it because it was covering up
everything else.
The overlay. It's whatever.
Okay.
Not really a Black History fact tonight so much as just my quick thoughts on Black Panther and representation in media. Black Panther: Wakanda Forever is out now. It's the #1 movie in the country. I haven't seen it yet, but that's neither. What's up, Eric? How you doing, man? But I did see the first one, obviously, and it was a cultural phenomenon when it came out, right? And it's a way more than anybody expected it to. It went well over $1 billion at the box office, and that was in part because obviously it was part of the MCU, right? And it was a big deal because it was a Black director and a majority Black cast at the forefront of the biggest thing in movies. But I think that, at least for me, I don't want to speak for everybody, but at least for me, it felt different than the other MCU movies. It felt different than other superhero movies and just other movies and shows in general, with like majority Black cast, Black setting, and things like that. And I think that the reason behind that is because they put a lot of work into tying everything to the history of I mean, not necessarily the character, because obviously it's a comic book character, it's not real, but of Africa. And it wasn't things like the plot, it was all the rest of it, right? Like the costumes, the architecture. They put a lot of work into making sure that it was consistent with several African nations. You had even Wakanda itself, kind of inspired by the Empire of Mali. It was extremely wealthy, very very educated empire. That's where Timbuktu was, and they produced a lot of engineers and astronomers in Mali before they were colonized. You had coltan, which is a metallic ore in Western Africa that is sort of similar, not similar to vibranium, but similar in that it's a very valuable resource. It's used in consoles, phones, a lot of electronics,
Yeah.
and that kind of inspired vibranium a bit. Wakanda obviously gets their wealth and a lot of their technological advancements from vibranium.
Yeah.
The Dora Milaje, they are an all women military essentially. A group
forces,
within,
if you will.
a group within the military, a special forces group,
Yeah.
Inspired by an all women militia in Benin, in East Africa.
Yeah.
And even down to Black Panther itself. Yes, Mansa Musa, the not just the richest king, the richest person who's ever lived. Some people say, we had a lot of gold in Mali and the empire, and all of, by law, this is kind of messed up, but by law, all of the gold nuggets belonged to the king, and the people were allowed to trade gold dust. But yeah, so even like I said, to the Black Panther itself was based off of Bastet, the Egyptian goddess, who was a body of a woman and head of a lion, initially or a lioness, and later kind of transitioned into a cat head or a feline head. But Bastet was a protector of Lower Egypt, goddess of war, goddess of fertility. A lot of it was very important within the pantheon of the Egyptian gods.
Yeah.
Even to the point where there's a Ra, the sun god, had a villain, I guess, or an arch nemesis, if you will, who is Apep, is a snake, a serpent, and he kind of sent Bastet to kind of handle that for him. She went into his lair and killed him. Apep represented chaos and essentially darkness. He was from the underworld and all this stuff. So he was really threatening Ra as the light bringer, right? And he sent Bastet to handle that, which she did in African myth. And I think about that kind of stuff, and it's just, you see other movies, and I don't really want to call out DC necessarily, but they'll say, hey, we got Aquaman and we're going to put Jason Momoa in as Aquaman. We're not going to change really anything else about the character. We've got Batgirl, and we're gonna make a brown woman Batgirl now, right? And we're not going to change anything else. But there you go. There's your representation, and it just doesn't hit the same way, right? It doesn't connect with audiences, and I think that's part of why Black Panther does. Its authentic representation is what matters, right?
Yeah.
These are things that Ryan Coogler and the rest of that crew and cast, they brought all of these elements together and kind of projected forward, and they were telling a story that Western audiences hadn't seen, and in a setting that Western audiences hadn't seen, and it was a prosperous, powerful, wealthy African nation, right? And that's just not the way that you see Africans represented in media at all. Especially in this country. And so, I just wanted to, this is kind of my thought on representation. It's not just minorities in roles, it's minorities telling stories, authentic stories that haven't been told before. And that is what is going to really connect with audiences and really, because I know this is what it always comes down to. That's what's really going to bring the success for those kind of films and television shows and things like that. Not just, hey, we're going to swap out a white actor for a non-white actor. It's really, digging into the history, digging into the roots, and representing a culture that's not been in the spotlight before.
Yeah. No, well said. And that's what it is. And I also want to say, no, it's not the perfect movie. I mean, I haven't seen it, but no movie is perfect. There's going to be some criticism of it, and that's fine. If you didn't like it, that's fine. But what I want to say is, for these movies like that, I mean, if you didn't like it, that's okay. But the critiques that I heard, even about the first one, are just is too critical in my opinion, and it shouldn't have to be perfect for you to appreciate it or celebrate it. Right. So, these other movies don't have to be perfect and you're entertained by it. But, Black Panther, even though, yes, they usually have a little bit more serious tone, it's still entertainment, right? Appreciate it. It's a comic book story, and of course it's gonna be plot holes by the nature of it, right?
Right.
So you shouldn't expect everything. But if you want a full breakdown of this film, our guy Suge Knight 323. It says 1323 on Twitch. You can follow him there and watch it on there. It says really, really good movie. I heard someone did a good review on Wakanda Forever. Yes, him and Chris. It is up. It is a spoiler review. So if you're on YouTube, Suge Knight 323. If you're on Twitch, Suge Knight 1323. It's a great conversation.
And even if you haven't seen it yet, there is a non-spoiler portion at the beginning of the video as well that you can watch.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. I will leave it there. And shout out to JP, man. Thanks for coming through. Says just like Kyle Murray, I did my homework for work this week. Okay. All right. All right. Okay. Let's start it. B, you got your gloves?
I left them out there too. They're next to the knife.
Oh man. Okay. Yeah, I forgot about that, man. Yeah. So, Ravens, after a nice, much needed bye, come out the bye to face.
Wait. Hold on. Brock says, I haven't seen the first or second Black Panther. Nonetheless, good points, Brodny. Thank you, Brock. I appreciate it. But go see not go see, but at least hop on Disney Plus and check out the first Black Panther. It's really entertaining. It's really good.
Do you have that one I just came up for Marco G?
Hang on 1 second. Let me see. Let me go ahead and grab that.
Did you put that up there or?
I did not put it up there.
Okay.
Marco G said, "What's good, fam? In my humble opinion, I think media doesn't like the fact that some athletes represent themselves and or have their own thoughts and have their own style. Lamar, Kyrie are perfect examples. They are their own man, and some don't like it."
Hey, appreciate it. Thank you. All right. I didn't disappear on you, did I?
No.
Okay. All right. Cool. All right. So, look, we're facing the Panthers. The Panthers decide PJ Walker is hurt. He's hurt. He can't. He's
I don't know why you're doing the quotes. He's definitely hurt. Nobody wants Baker on the field.
I didn't see because he finished the game. I didn't see when he got hurt. When did he get hurt?
I don't know. Nobody wants Baker Mayfield on the field. No one. Certainly not a coach who's trying to win the head coaching job.
I think
he definitely doesn't want Baker out there.
I think what happened when they got blown out and they put Baker in, Baker was running the offense the way he envisioned it at the start of the game. And even though that's what happens in blowouts, the team starts putting in second and third string. They don't try as much, right? I think it tricked Steve Wilkes. I think it tricked them. And I think after last week's game, we said, man, we won the game, but it wasn't how I envisioned it. I think Baker might be our guy. So PJ's
hurt. Baker is awful. He can't play. He's not switching to Baker.
Oh, okay. Dayon says high ankle sprain is common at Bank of America. He might be right about that. Yes. Just Al says Jose versus Brodny this week. Yes. Yes.
No.
Yes. So, all right, let's break down this game, man. I think you and I are on the same page with this. This is nothing that's really exciting about Baker Mayfield. You guys, I don't think Jerry Chin is back yet, is he?
I'm not sure if he's going to play this week.
Or Ionitis.
I'm guessing not.
You have a lot of injuries over there in key places, right? Dante Jackson is out.
Yeah, but so what?
Wow.
No, not so what to Dante Jackson, but so what? We can still cover your receivers. It's not an issue.
Touche.
I mean, come on now.
Good point. You still got JC Horn, who's healthy.
Yes.
Henderson. Is that your
CJ Henderson? It's up and down with him. But the point is the defense in terms of the back end and holding those Ravens receivers, they'll be just fine. They'll be just fine.
Hey, shout out to
Thank you, Hendo.
Hendo. Appreciate that. I can't bring that up either. I don't know what's going on with the screen here.
Wow. Hendo says someone is feeling dangerous. And it
Oh,
is not Baker Mayfield. I think the big thing for this game is going to be whether or not the vastly improved and recently healthy Ravens defense can shut down Deonta Foreman.
hold on. I got it. It's working again. Hendo says someone is feeling dangerous. Thank you, Hendo. Appreciate it.
You did say that. But it's going to be whether or not the Ravens defense can handle Deonta Foreman. He's been on fire recently. He's had, I believe, 3 out of 4 games over 100 yards. He had a game with 3 touchdowns a couple weeks ago. So he's playing really well. And I imagine that it won't be too difficult of a task because Baker Mayfield is in there and they're not going to have to worry too much about the pass game. Even though PJ Walker's not a good quarterback, I mean, he still makes plays, he still makes big throws, and you still have to worry about it in that regard, right? Baker, he's not a guy who can get the ball downfield. He's not a guy who can make anything happen with his legs. He's just a guy who's going to go out there and throw it 6 yards and hope a receiver can make something happen on their own.
Yeah, and Darius says only Skip Bayless was the only Skip Bayless the only one who enjoyed watching Baker in that second half. Yes, he still rides for Baker Mayfield. That's one of those things where with Skip, that's just part of his shtick, right? Like he's a character, but he's a character that's based off of real life. Okay, there's a lot of people in media that just don't like to admit when they're wrong on something. And you try to find any little thing to validate their initial impressions on players and just people, right? But yes, he goes overboard with Baker, and I wouldn't be surprised. I haven't watched this show in a while, but I wouldn't be surprised if he picked the Panthers to win and for Baker Mayfield to throw 300+ yards and a few touchdowns. So
I'll be a little surprised by that, but
I'm saying he. Oh, you'd be surprised by him predicting that?
Yeah. Raheem Ali says the Ravens will hold Foreman under 60 yards. I mean, I think that's difficult. Like I said, I wouldn't be shocked if it happened because they're going to be able to focus almost entirely on the run game. I mean, DJ Moore is a great wide receiver.
Yes.
But you have the secondary to be able to bottle him up because there really isn't any other threat out there. They don't have a tight end who can threaten the defense. The second wide receiver, you're looking at Terrace Marshall, Shi Smith. Like, you're not really afraid of those guys. Laviska Shenault has to have every one of his opportunities schemed for him. So you're not, in terms of the coverage, I think that DJ is going to have a really, really rough day. He's going to get bottled up, and they're going to be able to focus with Roquan and Patrick and that D line. They're going to be able to focus in on the run game, and it's probably going to be pretty ugly for the Panthers offense.
I expect it to be. This is one of those games. Yes, on paper,
agree like that. I mean, y'all have issues too. So I mean, whatever.
We do, which is why what's termed cautiously optimistic, right? This is one of those games where I better see this team do what they're supposed to do. They did it 2 weeks ago against the Saints, and I expect it against these type of teams. I don't expect in today's NFL that no matter how good our defense is, that we're going to hold top tier offenses to minimal amount of points, right? But teams like this, we better do it. And shout out to Omar, says Baker will get the tank rolling. Hey, appreciate it.
Thanks, Omar.
Yeah, he'll get the tank rolling. This ain't gonna roll far. Appreciate Omar. Omar's a Panthers fan. Nitro says, I swear this defense better not give up 14 points. Hey, I'm with you, Nitro. Right? We're putting all this pressure on the defense to perform, and I don't want to see them give up a lot of points.
No, I mean, look, that's not fair. Okay, because depending on how quickly it gets out of hand and over, and they're just going to go into shutdown mode. I mean, look, the Bengals went up 35-0 and then gave up 21 meaningless points. Right?
Well, yeah. Depending on the context of the game, yes, sure.
Yeah.
Sure. But we want to see another dominating performance. Davon says hashtag pro shade time. Look, listen. I'm gonna tell y'all about these.
Downright disrespectful.
I'll tell you about these pro shade jokes, right? Because we've been labeled pro shade haters around here. But I want to ask you, okay? I want to ask you guys.
Oh,
Lord. Where is your Channel 3 hoodie? Okay, where's your Channel 3 hoodie? I got mine right here. Yeah. Where is your Channel 3 hoodie? Haters.
They don't believe like you believe.
They don't believe like I believe. Okay, I'm gonna be wearing this. I'm gonna be wearing this on Sunday. All right, Channel 3. Right? You guys keep saying, "Oh, he's gonna blow up," but you're not sending positive Channel 3 vibes. Okay, go get you a hoodie. I can't remember where to get this at. His uncle sent the link. I just purchased it. He didn't purchase anything from us though. I'm about to reach out to him like, hey, just want to let you know.
We got the new holiday merch up and everything, and we ain't heard from you.
I just say, hey. Anywho, JP says Ravens are 13-point favorites. However, from what I've seen on Twitter, Jerome Booger is the main ref, and and this feels like a game where Harbaugh coaches and Ravens down to their competition. 17-16, Baltimore wins. Okay. I'll tell you what.
That would be devastating.
I will Baltimore. It will not be a happy stream. I can promise you that.
No.
I can promise you
that. This needs to be a blowout win for Baltimore. Anything else is, it's not a loss, obviously. You still get the win. But anything else is going to have, I think, negative impact on them moving forward.
Yeah. Mr. J says, I pray CJ and KT don't get embarrassed by high school varsity type wide receivers.
They're not going to get embarrassed. They'll be just fine. It's just, they're not going to be able to hold Baltimore's run game and hold them out of the end zone all day. They're not going to get torched by those receivers.
Listen, it could happen with Deshaun Jackson, but if it does happen, that'll be the only time it happens to the game. Okay.
Yeah, it'll happen once. I'm talking about having a great game. He'll get one catch and he'll be done.
Yeah, he might be in for a touchdown. It might be a long touchdown, but that will be it. And then you won't have to worry about it again. Yeah. And shout out to Anonymous for the $15 donation. Says, will Mr. Donald play in this game too?
Thank you, Anonymous. I forgot about Sam Darnold. There are reports that several Panthers players are saying that they want Darnold to get his shot at playing. And I thought it was funny because they didn't say that when PJ Walker was playing. and it feels extra disrespectful to Baker. He hasn't even gone back out on the field yet. And you're already like, man, can we get this bum out of here? And I don't think that's right. I'm not the biggest Baker fan, right? I've been talking down on Baker all offseason and all year. But it just feels like you don't put that out there on the Wednesday before the game.
Yeah, listen. What was that stat that Baker had when he was starting? You guys didn't. What was it like? You didn't have a first down, or you didn't have a certain amount of yards in the first half?
Oh, I don't even remember.
It was something
bad sets.
I couldn't believe it was true, but it was something really bad. Like you didn't like they hadn't. I think it was like game 3 or 4. Like you guys hadn't completed a first down yet, or something like that in the first half.
Yeah, I would believe that's true. I know that they didn't break 300 yards for a while. Also, it was all bad with Baker out there. He looks like, I don't know how it's possible, but he looks like he even lost what little arm he has. I don't know what is going on with him. I don't know if he's overthinking everything, thinking that this is, he's got to save his career right now. But he does not look like a guy who won a Heisman, went number 1 overall, won Rookie of the Year, set the touchdown record and everything. I don't know where that guy is. And that guy is not particularly good, but I am searching for him right now. Because this Baker Mayfield is just terrible.
Hey, Nitro, calm down, my friend. Calm down. Nitro, he's so hyper. He says if Baker throws for 275 yards and 3 touchdowns, Mike needs to be fired. Gone. Never to return. Like B said, the context of the game matters, right? If it's a blowout early, that could very well happen. It doesn't mean anything, right? Yeah. And it doesn't matter what happened in this game. He's not going to get fired. Even if we get blown out and lose, they're not going to fire him off of this game. No. So, but yes, I will have a lot to say about that. And Rob, thank you for joining the live stream. Says ESPN hosts always say that some quarterbacks need a number 1 receiver but they always say Lamar in a different kind of offense. Is in a different kind of offense. Yes. Yeah, it's a bad offense. But shout out to some of those ESPN hosts. I know Dan Orlovsky has criticized Giro over the years about how predictable his play calling is and just how bad he is. I know Kurt Warner has called him out, has broken down his plays. There's been a lot of people in media that just don't like Giro, right?
Yeah.
So it's fine. Like you're gonna get both sides of it. We know what it is with Lamar, but I don't really care. I don't watch ESPN either, to be honest. We had another question here. What was it? Oh, Marco G says B doesn't think our 43rd ranked wide receivers are a threat. Come on, bro, be real.
I will say I'm interested to see how the Panthers O-line holds up against the Ravens pass rush. And obviously I'm talking about Justin Houston. But I want to see what Oweh and them are capable of doing. Is Ojabo playing this week?
That's a good question. I don't know. So we didn't even talk about that. So we think that Mark Andrews will play. It's looking like he's going to play. I think Ojabo, I mean, he's been practicing. They say he's close, but doesn't mean anything. But hopefully he plays. We already got Tyus Bowser back. He looked solid in the last game. And yeah, hopefully we could see him go out there and hopefully he can really contribute there. That will help our defense even more because we just need this defense to ball out like something we haven't really seen in this era so far. That's what we need if we really want to have a shot at winning a Super Bowl. Broad P says, why do I keep seeing rookie grades for Hamilton be an A- for a 14th overall? He gets a C for average, in my opinion. Yeah, I agree. I've heard. I don't think he's playing bad. I don't think that, but that's not enough to get an A. You know what I mean? Like for being drafted that high, you gotta make plays. But no, he's solid, and I think he's gonna get better. I still don't like the pick, but I think he's gonna be solid. He might even be good.
Davon says, hopefully Burns is matched up with Ronnie. I mean, why? It doesn't matter. Like he's not going to get to Lamar anyway.
I do want to ask you guys that are arguing with us about the worst wide receiving core in the league. Did you happen to catch the Green Bay game?
Yeah, did you catch Christian Watson's act this week?
Yeah,
because y'all don't have anybody healthy or injured who's capable of that.
Listen, if one of our players went off like that and got three to just went off when they needed him to, I take my words. I take my words back, but I haven't seen anybody capable of doing that on this team. So, just saying. Danny says this is Baker's time to shine. He plays well against Lamar. Not the last time they played, I don't think. Right? I don't think he had a good game.
I believe the last time was when he threw the game-losing interception to Tyus Bowser. I'm not sure though.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right. I think so. I think he's only beaten Lamar once.
But to be fair, she didn't say beat. So
yes.
Play as well.
Okay. All right. What are you reading?
Oh no, I'm just
okay. I'll read a couple more, and then I want to bring up the Jacoby Jones comment that you talked about earlier. JP says, y'all think Chad Steele gonna get the Ravens a fire theme song that goes viral like the Commanders have when they win?
Listen, those Commander songs are so embarrassing. I'm praying it's not their fault. I'm praying they give them a better name to work with when they sell that team. Because those things are those are disgusting.
Oh, Easy E said no, that was a game where Lamar threw 4 picks and we still won. Okay. So he didn't. So yes. So I think Baker threw a few picks in that game as well. Yeah. Right. He didn't have a good game. Yeah. So yeah, man. Baker has it's been rough for Baker, but he's still getting that first round money. All right. 91 people in here. Make sure you hit that like button. If you're new, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Appreciate everybody coming through. And if you're wondering, how are people making Microphone Man? That's his name right there. Microphone Man. How are they making him raise his fist like that? That's how we do our super chat here. There are 2 ways to do it. One right below B, $ LBHT Show. That's the Cash App. Also, the pin link that you see in the comment, that will take you to our Stream Elements page. either way, you go there, you leave a donation, leave a comment, and Microphone Man will give you the LBHT salute. Okay,
we're gonna have to give him a name. Maybe we can do a little
survey
contest with
contest.
the viewers there and let the people name them.
Okay, all right. Well, yeah, let's think
Maybe.
on it. All right,
Maybe.
yeah, name Microphone Man. I like Microphone Man, but you want to change the name. All right.
I'm just saying it's not a name. It's a
Jacoby Jones. He had some comments.
Description of what he is. Yeah.
Jacoby Jones had some comments. I didn't.
He did indeed.
Oh, there it is.
Jacoby Jones on Lamar Jackson and the Ravens. If Lamar had me, Anquan, and Torrey, he wouldn't be running anywhere. And so let's go ahead and update the ticker. Jacoby Jones says the Ravens wide receivers suck.
Do you love B's translation there?
It's an accurate translation. I mean, you don't have to love it, but that's what he said.
Yeah. Just how I said that's Bushman. Okay, we gotta vote for Bushman. Yeah, how y'all feel about that? I think he's preaching to the choir. I think he's saying the obvious there, right? Yeah. No, it doesn't matter how much we try to hype up in our minds the caliber of wide receivers we have here. I don't think anybody can lie to themselves nearly enough to believe that they would be better than Anquan Bolden, Torrey Smith, and Jacoby Jones.
Right.
So,
well, I mean, Anquan was an elite wide receiver, period. Not just, good for Baltimore. He was an elite NFL wide receiver. Torrey Smith was a good starting NFL wide receiver for a number of years, right? And even though he didn't have the greatest numbers, he was great at drawing penalties way downfield, right? That was Joe Flacco's favorite play, pass interference to Torrey Smith. And Jacoby, he was a talented third receiver.
He's a better version of Devin Duvernay.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Well, not in the return game, but
in the return game,
he wasn't a better returner than Devin. I don't think he was a better returner than Devin, but he's a much better receiver than Devin.
I think he was a better returner.
I don't think so. I think that Devin doesn't even get a lot of opportunities in the return game.
I'm not saying he sucks now by any means,
but I think almost every time he gets the chance to return it, he makes an impact in the return game.
I think Jacoby Jones did too.
I don't think Jacoby was that guy. But he was a much better.
Listen. He made such a big impact that Mike Tomlin said, "I had to go on the field and trip this man."
He didn't trip anybody. He was standing there. He was looking at the scoreboard, and then somebody ran into him. He didn't know what happened, and I don't know why you would put that on Brother Tomlin. He wouldn't do that. He would not do that. So I mean,
what's going on, Tanja?
Those are dirty lies.
Trying to say, hey, my brother's my favorite. Listen on the way home. All right, be safe, Tanja. Thank you for listening. Appreciate you as always.
Yes.
Easy E says much better wide receiver than Dev. Nah. Okay.
Yeah, no, he was a much better wide receiver than Dev. Much better wide receiver than Dev.
I mean, the stats don't show it. Or for Devin Duvernay, they don't show that he's a better wide receiver. If you want to say the stats don't tell the whole story, go watch Jacoby Jones play. He's a better wide receiver, or he was a better wide receiver. All right.
He might still be, you don't know.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. Marco G said that was the Thanksgiving game. Yeah, it was. And Mike Tomlin was smiling. Yeah, that's a quote for him. I looked up at the Jumbotron and I realized I was on the field. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, yeah, again, I mean, we don't have to be a dead horse here. I don't think anybody disagrees with that assumption. You can also just toss in the O-line. You could toss in just a whole Ray Rice. I take Ray Rice over everything that we have in the backfield right now.
Mm-hmm.
Although I like J.K. Dobbins, but he wasn't Ray Rice. Look, Andrews is better than Dennis Pitta, but we had Dennis Pitta and what's the other dude's name from Oregon? Dixon. Is it
Ed Dixon?
Ed Dixon. So we had a really good supporting cast for Flacco there on that Super Bowl run, and when the defense wasn't really holding it down for us down the stretch, the offense did, and that's what talent will get you. And if Lamar just had Anquan Bolden and Jacoby Jones, whew, He be lining people up. Yeah, T Sizzle. Yeah, I mean the defense was on decline. Yeah, Suggs is still really good. Obviously, he was still really good, but that was Ray Lewis last year. That's Ed Reed basically last year, right? He played for the Texans and just after that, but he wasn't the same.
Yeah, that defense wasn't great.
No.
It was kind of a middle of the pack type defense, but yeah, they had a lot of. It didn't really seem like it at the time. You know, they weren't huge names, and and everybody wasn't celebrating those guys, but they had a very, very good supporting cast on the offense for Joe Flacco, and then they proceeded to strip that down and say we don't ever need that again.
Hot Boy Rod would take Gus the Bus over Ray Rice.
Mm-hmm.
That would be a bad move. You know, Gus Edwards was here before Lamar started, right? He was in the game before Lamar started. Wasn't he playing with Kenneth Dixon?
I'll say this. I think he really started playing around the same time Lamar did. But I'll say this because a lot of people like to point at Gus, and he's running for 700 yards and 5 yards a carry, and he's a powerful runner and all this stuff. And a lot of people like to point at Kenyon Drake and say that he was washed before he came here, and they don't really like Kenyon Drake. But Kenyon Drake is just under 5 yards a carry right now for the season. And I'm wondering, do you all think that Kenyon Drake is a top running back in the league, or do you maybe realize that when it's J.K. Dobbins, when it's Mark Ingram, when it's Gus Edwards, when it's Kenyon Drake, even the guys last year, they were old and decrepit, so they didn't get quite up to the 5 yards a carry, but they were both well over 4. Maybe the line and the quarterback have something to do with the running back success in Baltimore. And Greg Roman, I'm not going to say Greg Roman has nothing to do with it, but it's not the running backs. Gus Edwards is not a special player.
Listen, Ray Rice was a star.
Yeah, Ray Rice was a special running back. Gus Edwards is not.
Hey, diddle, Ray Rice up the middle. That's what got us to the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
Gus Edwards ain't doing that. All right. Yeah. And Anquan Bolden block. What's going on, Christian? Thanks for coming through. Says, good morning, my brothers. Where are you, Christian? Where is it morning time at?
What's up, Christian?
But thanks for coming through. Appreciate it. Wherever it is, I hope it's warm, because it is not warm here.
And Brock, I have to disagree with you. He says that's why no one pays running backs. Clearly, you're not familiar with the Carolina Panthers. They paid 2 running backs at once in D'Angelo Williams and Jonathan Stewart, and then when that blew up in their face, they did it again with Christian McCaffrey. And now we got fans talking about we need to do it again with Deonta Foreman.
Hey, he's watching from the Philippines, he says. Oh yeah, appreciate it, man. Hey, appreciate you watching us, man. Thank you. What were you clicking on? I clicked off.
No, I clicked off of Brock's comment again.
Yeah. So all right, we're not gonna spend all night debating this. We can talk about this more in the bonus time. Look, where we want to go. We want to talk about the Nets.
I mean, we can wrap up the NFL real quick and do our picks, and then move on to that disaster over there in Brooklyn. I mean, I have never seen a bigger coward as a number 1 player on an NBA team. I mean, my God.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Just awful.
And I'm a Nets fan saying that. So before we get to that, this is replacing the rapid fire sound that I gotta find. Okay, but
like it's not hiding.
Rapid fire.
Right there. It's right there for you.
It's right where? You don't have a rapid fire sound.
You could get it literally anywhere. Suge, I'm gonna tell Suge to hook you up with that. He's got all that stuff.
Okay. All right. So, listen, guys. Rapid fire week 11 NFL picks. All right. Type fast. Okay. If you want to
hold up. I'm sorry. Before we kick this off, Danity's asking, what do the Panthers have to do to win? They need to find a new quarterback before Sunday, Danity. They cannot beat Baltimore with Baker Mayfield unless Baltimore literally just does not show up.
And they need some players on defense to be healthy.
If Lamar gets hurt during the game, God forbid, nobody wants to see that happen. If he has to exit the game, they'll have a chance. But they, especially, like I said, PJ Walker's not good, but the Panthers are a different animal with PJ Walker in the game than they are with Baker Mayfield. With Baker Mayfield, they can't move the ball at all. With PJ, like I said, he turns the ball over a lot. He makes bad decisions a lot, but he's got a good arm. He can make I mean, like I said, that DJ Moore throw is still it's a wow moment, right? That's a wow throw. Baker Mayfield can't do that. PJ Walker can. So you have a threat, but without PJ in there and going back to Baker, there really shouldn't be any chance. This should be a massive blowout.
Yeah. Okay. Now it's time for Week 11 picks. If you want to follow along, type your picks, type fast. We're going to go through this fast. We did a good job last week. All right. Let's keep this going. All right. B, let's go.
Thursday night, Tennessee versus Green Bay. Christian Watson has arrived. That's a win for the Pack.
I got the Packers.
Chicago at Atlanta. You know who else has arrived? Justin Fields, and he's not going anywhere. Chicago wins.
Yep, I got Chicago.
Cleveland at Buffalo. I saw Marco asking about that choke job artist, Josh Allen. He's not going to choke this week. They're going to beat Cleveland at home.
They better not. I got Buffalo.
Philadelphia at the Colts. Philly going to be really angry after the refs robbed them of that win against Washington. I'm taking Philly.
Yeah, Jets Saturday is not going to be smiling this week. I got Philly.
Jets at New England. This is actually a really big game in terms of playoff implications. I'm going to take New England at home. I don't think Zach Wilson can get it done.
I got the Jets. But, man, look, they're playing for number 2 right now. The Bills are number 3.
Yes.
They are number 3. The Jets, man.
Rapid fire.
Oh, right. I'm sorry. Rapid fire. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
LA Rams at New Orleans. Matt Stafford is back. Cooper Kupp is out. New Orleans wins.
Yeah, New Orleans.
Detroit at the Giants. Detroit continues to try hard and continues to lose. Well, I mean, they won last week. They won the last couple of games, but they're going to go back to the losing ways. Taking the Giants.
Yeah, I got the Giants.
Carolina at Baltimore. We've been talking about it. Baltimore wins. I think this one is 31-10.
Oh, yeah. I think 34-10.
Washington at Houston. Houston has a chokehold on that number 1 pick. They're not interested in letting it go. I'm taking Washington and their new starting quarterback.
I got Houston.
Wow. Las Vegas at Denver. Probably the worst game of the season. Josh McDaniels is not that guy. Taking Denver.
Yeah, Denver.
I don't think Derek Carr's tears will inspire them to win this week. We got Dallas at Minnesota. Man, Minnesota is on a roll. Dallas is not. I don't think they can slow down Justin Jefferson. I'm going to take Minnesota.
I got Dallas. They choked last week. They're not going to. Yeah, they're not going to give it up this week.
Cincinnati at Pittsburgh. I'm taking Cincinnati. Whether they get Jamar Chase back or not, I'm taking Cincinnati in this one.
I'm taking Pittsburgh. Let's go.
Kansas City at the Chargers. I don't know if Mike Williams is going to be back or Keenan Allen, but I don't think it's going to matter. I'm taking Kansas City on the road.
Yep, Kansas City.
San Francisco versus Arizona. We don't know who is going to be starting at quarterback. Both McCoy and Murray are a little banged up. They're going to wait until later in the week to announce the starter and who's going to be taking that L to the 49ers.
Yep, 49ers.
And that is it.
That is it. Well done, everybody. Round of applause to you guys. Thank you.
Applause to me.
And to me.
No.
Hollywood may be back for Arizona. Yes, he might be. But again, every time I hear a player getting close to being back, hold them out until they're definitely back. All right. He may be back. Is he ready or not?
Right.
Right. So if
and what's your rush?
Yeah.
You're not going anywhere.
Look, Kyle's not playing. If he's not playing,
he might. He might play. We don't know.
Shout out to everybody giving likes over on Facebook, man. Got my boy Brian over there. Appreciate you coming through. Christian, Hendo. Man, that's what I'm talking about.
Thank you.
Yes. Shout out to the people on Twitch. I know Shug's over there on Twitch. Go ahead and hit the like over there as well. Or they don't have a like. But I keep saying hit the like, but whatever you do on Twitch, I appreciate it. Josh Allen and Justin Herbert are some frauds. Wow, those are strong words.
They are not frauds, Danity.
Wow.
Josh Allen is a great player. Justin Herbert is a great player. They're just, they're in Justin's in a bad situation right now. They don't have any receivers over there. They got a bad coach. Josh Allen, I mean,
there's nothing wrong with him. Like everybody goes through a slump.
Yeah.
He was in the AFC Championship game last year. There's nothing wrong with the man. He's won a few playoff games. He's playing up to expectation, man. Like there's nothing wrong with Josh Allen. Like just because he had a couple bad games, that happens to every quarterback. That's the point we were trying to make. Like when we make fun of Josh Allen and Aaron Rodgers, it's because people act like Lamar has to play perfect every week. And we keep saying that doesn't matter how good you are. She said, frauds. It doesn't matter how good you are. You're going to play bad at some point. That's just how it is.
I feel like we got to make a bet on Josh Allen here somehow. But
wait, hold on. Before we do that, okay, word from our sponsors. All right, ourselves. Okay, do you see what we're wearing? You can't get this on the store anymore. But if you really want one, okay, we can make an exception. But Microphone Man is on the store. You can get some Microphone Man apparel. All right, in the form of a hoodie because
for the holidays.
Oh, for the holidays. Look at that. Look at Microphone Man. He looks so comfortable standing in front of all that snow. Okay, he is in the holiday mood. Okay, let me tell you something. It's cold out there.
Yes,
it is cold out there.
Cold.
I moved a lot slower this morning to get up to go to work. Okay, I wasn't feeling good already, and that cold air almost put me down. But I grabbed my hoodie, I put it on, and my health points went up like 10%. Okay. All right. Got a little energy there. Okay. So where can you get this and more? Well, let's take down that little ticker there. Okay. There we go. LBHTShow.com/shop. All right. Now that stuff is currently on the store. You can get you some Ring Kings apparel. You can get you a nice new LBHT logo beanie. Okay. You can get that beanie that B's wearing right there. That's a Ring Kings podcast beanie from our other podcast that we do with our brother OTR Mike. All right. So go over there. If you see something that you like, go ahead and check it out. Also, I teased it earlier. Okay. I'll tease it again. There it is. That is what we're talking about on the Overtime Show, which happens right after this show. Okay. You see Bud Crawford, you see Lamar Jackson. What do those two have in common? They represent themselves. Okay. Lamar is Lamar is represented by his mom. His mom is his agent, right? They work in a tandem. But Bud Crawford, he's a boss, B. He's a boss. Right, Errol Spence ain't a boss like he is.
Like he himself is.
All right. So what's the difference between the two? Because Bud Crawford is getting a lot of criticism about how he's handling things. A lot of criticism from us about how he's handling things.
Brandon, what happened to the Baker Jackson comment? Yeah, we gotta go over that real quick.
Hold on.
Yeah.
But yes, you can get. We're going to get into that on the Overtime Show. And how do you sign up for the Overtime Show? Right here, patreon.com/LBHT Show, right over there below B. All right. We got 3 tiers. B, tell them real quick about the tiers.
And so we have the $3 tier, which is kind of a general support tier, but it'll also get you into the NFL Pick'em League that we do every year, where we give away a custom LBHT trophy to the winner at the end of the season. We have the $10 tier, which gets you the LBHT Crew coin that Jose has over there. Or does he? No, he does have it.
I do have
it. That'll also get you into our fantasy football leagues that we run. We do a dynasty league and a regular redraft league. And again, if there's enough interest, we'll convert it and put up a second dynasty league. That'll also get you the ability to request specific content. If you want a video or article about a sports topic, we'll do that. Then we have the $20 tier, which is a combined tier for this show and our Ring Kings podcast that we do with OTR Mike. And that will get you everything I mentioned, plus our custom poker deck featuring our top 25 fighters of all time. And all the tiers will get you into the Overtime Show that we do every week after the live show, as well as entrance into our Discord.
Boom. There it is. And real quick, I mentioned Ring Kings podcast. Go over there, subscribe. Okay. Follow wherever you listen to podcasts. And you guys have been supporting our brother, OTR Mike. Continue the support. Open mic with OTR Mike. He has a list of dope topics. His most recent topic is the cost of convenience. How much are you willing to pay for it? How much are you willing to pay to have your food delivered by Grubhub? That sandwich, that $5 sandwich that's going to cost you $25 to get it delivered to your house to
That's
avoid
why
the
you just
elements.
get more than one thing. You get
Yeah.
lunch and dinner, and then you don't notice it. You only notice it if you order one thing.
So that and much more. Make sure you go check it out. It's always a great conversation with Mikey. All right. Okay. Baker and Lamar's mom. What is going on with that?
Yeah, so Baker had made a comment in a press conference just talking about, because I guess they had been classmates before, and he made a comment about how Lamar's mom had given him some advice and was telling him stories about Lamar and telling him to go down to Florida and work out with Lamar, right? And he politely declined at the Heisman celebration or ceremony, and that he he said that Lamar's mom is pretty intimidating. Right. And that's yeah. And so then, somebody asked Lamar about him saying that he was intimidated by Lamar's mother, which, not quite what he said, but, it's just something that kind of got a little lost in translation. And Lamar hadn't heard the comment. So, I mean, it's no big deal. I mean, it was just Baker saying, giving a little funny anecdote about him.
He's trying to take a little jab, be funny. And that's Baker's. Not take a jab, but try to say something funny. That's kind of his nature, right?
Yeah, look, Baker. I don't like Baker as a player, but he seems like a good guy. And he's pretty good with the media, and he's always joking around. He's a personable guy, a charismatic guy, and this one just didn't it didn't
what you say about my mama?
Because Lamar hadn't heard it, so he didn't know what they were talking about when they asked.
So it was awkward because he didn't hear it and he didn't know how to respond. So I get it, but it was lighthearted. I know. I think they said the NFL chick Rita asked a question.
Yeah.
Hey, look, not every question going to hit. Sometimes you throw something out there. You try to do something a little different, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. It is what it is.
Right. Okay? So, no big deal.
What's up, Ravens? See, thanks for coming through. Yeah. So I mean, there's not much to say about that. Davon said, "Sorry, Miss Jackson." Well, here's one part that stuck out to me. When Baker was invited to work out in the offseason, he said, "No, thank you."
No, I mean, it wasn't. This was before he even got to the NFL.
Yeah,
and I think he probably doesn't know Lamar like that. He's like, well,
I think
I want to do that.
I think in a league that supposedly scrutinizes every aspect of a player's life and their habits and everything. Like we hear about how they follow these players. You heard about who's that one player, that wide receiver that Justin Blackman. He had a drinking problem, and one team, used to send security to a bar that he used to always go to and hang out there to see how many times he go to the bar. So that's how they knew to take him off the draft board. Yeah. So like you hear all these stories about how they do all this due diligence because they're investing millions of dollars into these players, right? Nobody looked into this man's work ethic or, how he is with coaches, because clearly, and look, personality wise, like he seems like a fun guy to hang around, right? But when it comes to working with coaches, when it comes to working out, it seems like there's an issue there that dates back to college. And shout out to
go ahead. I'm sorry.
Okay, shout out to Money Making Mitch for a $5 donation. Man, appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Says, late to the show, fellas. Hey, you're right on time. Whenever you show up, you're right on time. He says, do y'all think Vikings are legitimate contenders? Live in Minnesota, and everybody around here won't shut up about them. They're doing really well right now. And when your team is doing well, you're gonna feel good about them. I'll say this: they have a lot of talent.
That's my problem. They're contenders based off of the fact that they have a ton of talent. They have superstar, game-changing talent on that offense, and some on defense as well. But I look at them the same way I looked at the 49ers from a few years ago. Like, I never believed they were going to win a title because their quarterback was Jimmy Garoppolo, and you can't trust him to win you a game. He's not going to make plays to win you a game. And I feel the same way about Kirk Cousins. And with the 49ers, it came down to him having to make one throw. And it wasn't I'm not going to say it was the easiest throw in the world, but it wasn't super difficult, and he couldn't make it, and they lost. I think that's kind of the way that I look at Minnesota as well. Justin Jefferson is not going to be able to win a Super Bowl for you without any input from Kirk Cousins, and that's going to be their issue.
They also got Dalvin Cook. They also
They
got
do.
Adam Thielen. They
do.
got TJ Hawkinson. My God. Look, listen, man, they have a lot of talent. Yes, they are contenders. No, I don't think they will win. Right. They could get there. They could win. Like bad quarterbacks win sometimes. Right.
How are they going to get to the Super Bowl without Kirk Cousins playing in primetime?
Look, one issue at a time. Okay. and you brought up that play that Justin Jefferson made. If you guys did not see the play that Justin Jefferson made on 4th and long, the game on the line to extend that drive and get down and score, take the team into overtime, go look at it. Yeah. That's a play that nobody on this team, including Bateman, can make. Right? That's what we mean when we say get Lamar a star. Because in a situation like that, when everything else is just, look, man, we don't have anything. I just got to throw it up and pray that my guy can make a play. Prayers are answered when you have players like that. And we don't have anything like that here. Get Lamar a star. Captain Kirk does not deserve those players. Okay? Living Legend says Captain Kirk clutching this year. Yeah? Yeah.
No, he's not.
Hey.
Oh,
Is that the dance he was doing?
No, he was doing
He's doing this first. Yeah.
Awful. Terrible. All of it. Stop putting chains on these dudes. I see him doing it to Taylor Heineke too. Awful.
Tanja, I hope you're parked typing this. She says, I saw it. Bateman definitely can't make that play. I haven't seen nothing close to that. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
No, look, and that play aside, because you can count on one hand the number of guys who can make that.
Yeah.
But he also dominated the rest of that drive.
Yes.
And made plays through overtime to win them that game.
Yeah, Kirk Cousins out here throwing no-look passes and Jefferson just catching them.
Throwing no-look passes to Buffalo, and Jefferson is catching them.
I get furious when I see these quarterbacks that don't have half the talent as Lamar get a plethora of weapons and do stuff like that.
Because here's the thing, too. Forget about the actual catch. The one hand, falling backwards, stealing it from the DB as you're falling catch. Yeah. The Ravens receivers can't even adjust to the ball in the air the way he did before he made the jump to make that catch. That's the real problem.
Yes. We talked about that. First of all, it's lack of effort, right? And lack of ability to a certain extent. But you know what Kirk Cousins threw right there? An interception.
Yeah.
That defender had the ball, 2 hands on the ball, and Justin Jefferson ripped it out with one hand and had gained control and then let touch the ground as he hit the ground.
Yeah. And that's why every NFL player in the league imitates Justin Jefferson when they score a touchdown.
Yes. That's his dance. Well, Jamar Chase will argue it was his, but sorry, Justin Jefferson made it to the league first. It is what it is. All right, look. And it's time for the ugly part of the show. We're going to be quick because we're already over an hour. All right. And then we're going to hit you with a quick bonus time. But we got to talk about our team in the NBA. Okay. Our teams. Okay. Let's start with the nonsense going on with the Nets. All right.
Oh, you want to start with that? Okay.
Yes.
So they're saying that Kyrie may make his return as early as this Sunday.
Okay.
Don't know who asked for that, but that's there. They just got, taken behind the woodshed by the Sacramento Kings. They gave up 153 points to the Sacramento Kings. They actually, good silver lining, positive. They stopped the Lakers' losing streak the other day. The Lakers beat them by I believe it was 13. But then, Ben Simmons, they said the team is kind of questioning his availability and his play, even when he does play, because he played in that game. He had like 11 points, which is his most since late 2021. But I don't know Ben Simmons personally, obviously, but he's been out for a long time. He's obviously having some mental hurdles, some mental issues with the game. I think that you stick with him and you help him get over that and get him back to the all-pro player that he was. He's still got all of that talent. He's still, he's a great passer, great defender. Get him back to the, that state and you'll be fine. You just got to be patient. And why would you not be patient right now? Nobody else on your team is playing, which is kind of the point that Kevin Durant was making. He says, this is in an interview with Bleacher Report with Chris Haynes. He said, well, this is not even the one I wanted to start with. Hold on. He said, when we're all playing, like, the one person they're going to look at, that's why I requested a trade. He straight up said, I don't want the responsibility. I don't want the attention. That's why I asked out.
Yeah.
And said, that's why I want to go play with another star who can take some of the blame.
That's cowardly. What's the next quote?
The next quote is far worse to me. He says, look at our starting lineup. Edmund Sumner, Royce O'Neal, Joe Harris, Claxton, and me. It's not disrespect, but what are you expecting from that group? You expect us to win because I'm out there. And first of all, that's a lot of disrespect.
It's major disrespect, man. You're going out there. They had won 3 in a row, right? Or 3 out of 4 or something like that. Yeah, just last week, and they were looking good. And you're dapping up with them and everything like that, and then you go out there because of one bad night and you want to throw them under the bus. Listen, get this man off my team, right? Like, amazing talent, but get off of my team. You, Kyrie, and Ben Simmons. I want all of you off my team. This isn't winner mentality.
No.
Right? Like, you can. I'm not saying you can't have these thoughts. You had those thoughts, internally, right? Even if you want to vent in practice, or you want to get on your team a little bit, give him some tough love, right? Even though that's not his nature, there's nothing tough about him, right? But that's just being real. Like, you want to throw disrespect out there, but you're losing because you're soft. You've always been soft. You're sensitive. You listen to what people say that have nothing to do with the game. You internalize that, and now you're in a situation where you just need to man up, right? Rise above it, and get some wins until Kyrie comes back. Hold Kyrie accountable. Your friend Kyrie, because I noticed he did all that flapping of the gums he was doing right there. Not once that he talked about how Kyrie just isn't working out there. Mm-hmm. How Kyrie is never available. How Kyrie said it himself that basketball isn't the most important thing to him.
Yeah.
Right. So you have all these words for everybody else that's out there busting their butt for you, but you don't have words for Kyrie, who could care less about playing. He could care less about playing. Both of y'all, get the hell off my team, man. I was okay. Listen, I was okay with trading them after we lost in the playoffs. I was like, you know what? This is not what we brought him here to do, right? They can go. Especially when he started requesting to be traded. Go. This team can build a better team than you got than with you on here right now. Brandon Buck, hey, appreciate the $15.30 donation. Says, oh, I see what you did. Said, damn, 153 points, Jose. Damn, what happened? Well, we're discussing what happened. What happened is that man quit. Okay. That's not, if you're going to sit there and say, yeah, appreciate it. If you're going to sit there and say, hey, it's only me out here, so why did you allow that to happen?
Well, the other part too, this is the same guy who not that long ago said to the media, I'm Kevin Durant. You know who I am. Mm-hmm. Well, who are you? Why can't you win games with those guys? This is the regular season, right? You're not talking about winning the title. You're talking about beating the goddamn Sacramento Kings.
Yeah.
Why can't you do that?
So what value are you to another team?
I mean, look, I know LeBron was out there, but the Lakers are 3-10. Why couldn't you beat them? If you are Kevin Durant, that's who you are. But he and Kyrie showed exactly who they are last season in the playoffs, where they quit mid-series against Boston, where they straight up came out and into the press and said, you know what, man, it's their time, it's their year. That team didn't win a championship. They beat you though. They made you quit though.
Yeah, they're playing like this because they didn't get their way throughout the season last year, and they're pouting. And they're still pouting, even though they, sat down with Joe Tsai, they sat down with Steve Nash, and even though they fired Steve Nash like he wanted, right? He's still pouting because, hey, I just don't want to be here anymore, right? That's all this is. This is when he says no disrespect, he probably told him straight up, yeah, I'm gonna say some things about you y'all. It's not, I'm just trying to get out of here. That's still disrespectful because that shows that you're just not really into into the team, into winning those games. Like you say, hey, I just want to play basketball. Everybody knows I just want to play basketball. No, you just want to play basketball under the right circumstances. You don't really care about winning, dude.
Right.
Like you
and
don't.
that's his go-to when you ask him about Kyrie Irving. He didn't have anything to say about Kyrie Irving. Kyrie's a grown man. He's not going to tell him what he can and can't do, can and can't say. But now, that's fine. Okay, if you don't want to be that guy that says anything publicly about the team, about your teammates, then be that guy. But don't then come out and be like, you see what kind of scrubs they got me out here with. How am I supposed to win games? Well, you're supposed to be a superstar, right? You're supposed to be one of the best players in the league. You're supposed to be one of the best scorers of all time. You're supposed to be Kevin Durant, right? So go out there and put the team on your back once or twice and win a couple games.
Listen, Danny says, I can't disrespect the Maryland GOAT. Come to the Spurs, KD. You think he's going to do any better playing for the Spurs out west? You don't want him out there. You'll be cursing him out a lot harsher than I am. I'm not even cursing him out. I'm just saying, get the hell off the team.
Danny, how you gonna call Josh Allen a fraud and you out here talking about come to my team, Kevin Durant?
Kevin Durant is still one of the best players in the league. How much longer? I don't know. He's older now, right? And what's going on with him is he thought he can have his LeBron moment. He thought, I can go to this franchise that, it wasn't even struggling. They were a playoff team before he got there. They were struggling a few years before that. But he thought, hey man, I can make a name for myself there. And I believed it too. You go and win in Brooklyn, right? Bring a title there, right? That's your identity, right? He wanted to get away from being a quote unquote sidekick with the Warriors, right? Because he got his feelings hurt over there. And it was a fresh start. And he realized, man, I'm not really a leader. He won't admit it, but he realized he's not a leader. He definitely realized Kyrie isn't a leader.
Yeah.
And you had an organization that was trying to be hands off of two professionals, two former champions, and said, look, whatever you need, because we're showing you that respect as great players, we're going to give it to you. We're going to be hands off. We trust you, right? Everybody's making fun of the Nets for how they handled these stars, but I don't think they did anything wrong. Right. I think they just afforded them respect that they, it turns out that they just didn't deserve. Right. But I don't think that speaks poorly of the Nets at the end of the day. The only thing I didn't like that they did was fire Kenny Atkinson. I understood it, but I wouldn't have done it. I'd have been like, look, we're not starting our relationship by you demanding a coach to be fired, a damn good coach. Right. Had we negotiated that before you came on, that's one thing. But you came here and now you're saying get rid of him. I wouldn't have done it. Right. And definitely not for Nash. So that's the one big mistake I think they made in this whole thing. But you will never get this type of treatment again, KD. No. You will never get this type of treatment from any team, and they will hold you accountable. So where do you think you're going to go and tag along to win? Right.
And he's ruined it for some other stars who are also not going to get that treatment.
Yeah.
But no, Danny's still saying, yeah, yes, I do. KD and Pop would be magic. Mm-hmm. We have magic together. We have enough for him to get over the hump. No, you don't.
Well, how you going to have enough when you have to send back assets to get him? Like he's on the contract for 4 years.
I promise you, the Nets roster is better than your roster, and he can't win with them.
Yeah,
and it's not just. I'm not even talking about the Nets just right now, right? Because when Kyrie is playing, when Ben Simmons is playing, he can't win with them either. You saw what happened to them when they played Boston. Kyrie wasn't sitting out. Right. You don't have any players like Kyrie to pair him with. I mean, look, Greg is a great coach, but Kevin Durant is soft. He doesn't want to be the man, and he folds. He folds under any kind of pressure. Which is why he went to Golden State, and it's sad because I didn't believe that. I thought, hey, yeah, okay, he had a chance to go and join a great team who was recruiting him. Why not? And I thought he was fine. He's Kevin Durant. He can go somewhere else, and they'll be a title contender because he's Kevin Durant. But no, it turns out that's not the case. He couldn't win when he had Russell Westbrook, James Harden, and Serge Ibaka around him. He won on a Golden State team. Yes, he was the best player on the team, but not the leader of the team. And then since then, I mean, it's been all downhill for him.
Speaking of James Harden was on this team. You couldn't even get your boy to stay.
Yeah.
So, I mean, look, it sounds crazy to say, but we are better off without him. By the time we trade him and get some assets back for him, we will be a better team than his time here. It was a disaster. And I'm not mad that we made that move. It's Kevin Durant, right? We tried it, didn't work. Not going to dwell on it. It didn't work out. That's fine. You can go. I wish you luck.
It's going to be hilarious when they trade Durant and Kyrie for just picks and they end up with Wembanyama.
Yes. Yes. All right, Lakers. What's going on over there?
Well, yeah. So I mean, we can turn off the doom and gloom and head over to sunny LA with the Showtime Lakers, who are they are 3-10, but they are not the worst team in the conference. Okay, that's Houston at 2-12. They're not the worst team in the league. Detroit is also 3-12, so they're below them too. So we're not rock bottom. And the stories out there now that they are there's one Western Conference executive who believes that the Lakers are going to pull off a trade for Bradley Beal.
What?
From the Washington Wizards, who have, I believe, won 4 in a row now. So yeah, they're playing pretty well. But Bradley Beal has made it known that he would like to go and play in California.
That's crazy. Did he just sign his contract?
Doesn't matter. He wanted his money. And the Lakers have a couple of first round picks in 2027, 2029 that apparently are extremely valuable. I don't understand this, but everybody seems to want them. And they have a guy by the name of Russell Westbrook who would happen to match those salaries up. So in this scenario, they get to keep Anthony Davis and they add Bradley Beal, and then it's all good. Then you hit the ground running.
And they're familiar with Russell Westbrook. He used to be on the Wizards roster. I'll tell you why they want those picks. I don't agree, but I'll tell you why people want those picks. They figure by that time, LeBron will be gone, obviously, and probably AD as well. And they are going to hit rock bottom for a little bit, right? There's going to be no way out of getting, no way of getting out of them being bad for a little while, and those will be really high picks. But I'm here to tell you that's not going to happen. It never happens. Look, nobody knows how this is going to work, right? Nobody knows how they're going to pull off Russell Westbrook and two picks 3 years out for Bradley Beal. But I'm here to tell you, if there's any truth to that, it's going to happen. Because that's what the Lakers do.
Yeah.
The Lakers always do it. They've been doing it for decades. They're going to get their man. They're going to win a lot of games. All right. And even when this team is blown up, LeBron is retired, whether AD stays or goes, and it looks like they're blowing up the team, they might have one down year. It won't be the years where their picks are traded away, right? Or those picks that they're about to trade away now. They will rebound quickly. Because the thing about future picks, B? The future never comes.
Yeah.
So by the time if they do have a down year, right, and they're looking to bounce back, they're looking to rebound. They need some players so they can compete. They got more future picks. Future picks always come. Yeah. Right. That's what the Rams figured out. They're like, we can always trade away the future. Right. That's what they're gonna do. And they'll entice a superstar to come to LA because people like playing in LA. People like playing for the Lakers. So the Lakers aren't going anywhere. Extraterrestrial says, can the Ravens beat the Chiefs? All right. Thank you, Extraterrestrial, for watching on Twitch. And thank you for your comment because it is now time for bonus time. Wait, do you have any more comments? Do you want to add any more to that?
No, I agree with you that the Lakers, they're not a team that really develops players. That's not what they do. They go to the NBA farm system and they take your star. And if it's not Bradley Beal, the deal for Buddy Hield and Miles Turner is still available at this point. There is talk about the Clippers, going after Miles Turner. But they can get something done with Russell Westbrook in those picks. Whether or not it'll be enough to turn the season around remains to be seen. But there's just something wrong it's it's not even necessarily a talent problem, but there's just something wrong with that team. And I think Russell Westbrook is probably the source of it. And removing Russ, is going to make them better just by default, I think. But if they can go out of there and get a talent like Bradley Beal or a couple guys like Hield and Turner or whatever else, I think it'll be a great a coup for them, and they can get this thing turned around.
All right. Now to Extraterrestrial's question and the mark of bonus time. Yes, bonus time is here. Can the Ravens beat the Chiefs? Yeah, anybody can be beat. I'm not going to say they can't do it. I would. They would not be favored. I'm assuming you're talking about the playoffs. And in the playoffs, most likely we will have to go to Kansas City to play them. I do not feel good about that. Can it happen? Yeah, it can happen. Right? I mean, they just lost to the Bengals last year. If Lamar is healthy and Andrews is healthy, right, and Bateman is healthy, yes, it's possible. Mm-hmm. But I wouldn't expect it. I would be surprised if it did happen. Yeah, it's possible. So shout out to Money Making Mitch for the $5 donation, man. Appreciate it. Says I wish Ravens fans would watch other football games because then they would know that Josh Allen made a lot of errant throws, but was bailed out by the talent around him. Yes. Mm-hmm. And that's not exclusive to Josh Allen. I mean, there's a lot of top quarterbacks. You have bad games. It's just here it gets scrutinized so much because we don't have any other talent on that side of the ball, and we don't throw the ball nearly enough, right? Not nearly enough. I know people were talking on Twitter today because the team over at ESPN is explaining how more teams are rushing now, running the ball with success, and how it's slowly changing to a running league again. Mm-hmm. It's not going to go back to that.
Well, look, I think it will eventually. It's not there now. But everything goes in cycles, right?
Yeah.
When teams started passing more, defenses got lighter and faster to be able to cover. And now, teams are kind of some teams are going back the other way and trying to establish a power run game to take advantage of those defenses. It always goes back and forth. But Baltimore, they're way too early, and they went way too hard in that direction, because it's not the fact that they're a run team. It's the fact that they're a run team when you don't have the best O-line, you don't have the best running backs, and then you didn't bother to get any talent on the outside is the problem.
Well, yeah, because the Titans do something similar, right? The 49ers obviously do something similar, the Shanahan's running that offense. But the Shanahan's, they don't really, they don't go out there and get they got Christian McCaffrey now. So they went out there and upgraded their running back situation, and that's going to pay dividends. Obviously, the Titans have King Henry, right? Mm-hmm. So they really lean into that. And we don't do that. We say we want to be a run team, but we don't really run the ball. Right?
And also I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying we run with our quarterback, but we don't really use our running backs like that, which is why we're not a power run team. You can't be a power run team with your leading rusher as your quarterback.
Yeah. And with the 49ers and even with the Titans, they lean on Derrick Henry. They lean on the run game in San Francisco, but they've got Deebo Samuel, George Kittle, and Brandon Ayuk in San Francisco as well.
Yeah.
They've got they got Robert Woods. They just traded AJ Brown and replaced him with a first round receiver in Treylon Burks in Tennessee. Yeah. They still know the value of having the talent on the outside. You have to have it. You're not going to be able to run your way to a Super Bowl. And San Francisco found that out. They did the defense and run game thing against Kansas City, and it worked for 3.5 quarters. And then Kansas City scored 3 touchdowns in 10 minutes, and San Francisco's pass game couldn't respond.
Right.
And they haven't been back since. Right. And that's the other thing with the defense and run game. Defense is very difficult to maintain at that high level. You're not going to do that over a stretch of time. So you have to cash it in when you have the defense. So right now, that would be this year for Baltimore. You have to cash it in if the defense starts playing that well, because you're not going to be able to maintain it. It's extremely difficult, which is why going the quarterback route is the preferable route. Not that it's the only way to win. Obviously, it isn't, but it is the easiest way to win, and it is the way that gives you the most opportunities to win
over such a time. Yeah.
Yeah, it keeps your team competitive no matter what other changes you make. You can still keep your window open if you have that quarterback, but you have to open the window first.
Yep, well said. John Hazeb Ali says, any update on, he meant Gus Edwards. Yeah, he has his Gus Edwards coming back this week. Don't know. I haven't heard anything about it. We'll have to check the injury report. I'm not sure how long he was supposed to be out for, but I would expect Kenyon Drake to be playing a little bit longer. Dandy says, will the Panthers have any Pro Bowlers this year?
Yeah, for sure. Derek Brown should be in the Pro Bowl. Yeah. Brian Burns should probably make it. I think
JC Horn
probably JC Horn will be there or should be there. I think there's an outside shot for Deonta Foreman to make it if he keeps playing well.
DJ Moore as well.
I don't think DJ Moore will get there. I don't think he doesn't have the numbers, and that's not his fault. But they're just not there.
Yeah.
Gus Edwards limited in his return to practice. This is from 3 hours ago. Week 10 bye did Edwards some good and may allow him to avoid a second straight missed game. So it's kind of up in the air at this point. He may be back this week, Gus Edwards. But yeah, no, I mean, I think they should have a few, but when you're not winning a lot of games, you don't get a lot of consideration in the Pro Bowl either.
Yeah. Raven Ron wants to know, what will be the biggest NBA trade by the deadline?
Pretty sure we just told you, Raven. Bradley Beal to the Lakers.
No, it's gonna be KD. KD gonna get traded. He can't stay on the team after that. You're disrespecting the players now, purposely so. But you can't have that out there. The whole team's just looking at him like you just threw us under a bus with no remorse. So yeah, it's just not going to work out. And this is what he wanted. He's going to cry his way off the team, and who knows where he goes from here? Because I don't think he's going to go. I know he's not going to go where he wants to go. They've already made it clear the teams that he wants to go to can't offer enough. It's not going to be there. So he's going to end up in another situation that he's not happy with. And Buck says, KD to Phoenix Suns. Yeah, we're going to give up for him. Are you going to give up Devin Booker? Right? They can't even trade. What's his name now? Who's the guy that just resigned? Aiden, right? The way his contract works, he's not even available for a trade until the end of the year. So you can't even add Aiden in a trade. So, and that's the one player that they're trying to push onto the Nets. So I don't see it happening for the Suns. Like I said, unless they're willing to come up off of Devin Booker, I don't think anybody wants that over there. So yeah, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough, but I do think they will get a deal. I think they go back to the Boston deal. They were close for Jaylen Brown. I think they're real close to getting that done.
Imagine like how bad a look it would be for Kevin Durant at 34 to go to Boston so that he could play. He could let Jason Tatum lead the team.
Yeah, but that's what's going to happen. That's what's going to happen. But I'm disappointed in KD, but I'm not surprised, man. He's always been mentally weak. So it is what it is. Alvaram Diallo says, still sad that we are in year 5 of Lamar Jackson and still having that convo of weapons and philosophy being flat out bad. It is sad.
Yeah.
But the positive about this is something that a lot of black quarterbacks that were in his situation in the past didn't handle it the way he's handling it now. And that's him saying, I'm not signing with you guys.
Yeah.
Right. You're gonna pay me a boatload of money, or you're gonna give me some help. Like there's going to be some sort of change. I'm not sure everything that he's demanding. I know money is a sticking point. And I think the money part, if they fold on that, then a lot of things will change, because then you have to change your philosophy. All the money, or a big chunk of your money, is invested in this quarterback. You can't get out of it. That's what's so important about the guaranteed money. When you're fully invested in that quarterback and there is no getting out of that, you have to make it work. So now your focus has to change. It has to work with him. You can't say, "Oh well, hey, we try to give him Deshaun Jackson, and it's just this is not working out. Hey, we're trying, but it's just not working out." There is no not working out when you're on the hook for 250 to 300 million guaranteed. It better work out, and if it doesn't work out, you're fired, right?
And that's why he's going to be traded at the end of the year.
Yeah, well,
because John Harbaugh does not want that. John Harbaugh is not going to allow anybody to force him to change what he wants to do. He won a Super Bowl 10 years ago, God damn it. And he's going to do it his way, and you're going to leave him alone and let him do it his way. Yeah. And he's going to convince Bisciotti to just say, you know what, man, this kid ain't worth it. Like, how many playoff games we won with him?
Hey, it might go down, and I won't shed a tear. I'll be happy for Lamar and my new team, okay? But look, seriously, that is I'm glad how he's handling it, because if he gets traded, whatever team trades for him, it's going to be the same thing. We gave up a lot of picks. We're going to pay him a lot of money, and we're going to be fully invested in getting him some weapons, supporting him with talent. So this is going to end well for Lamar. It's not going to end so well for the Baltimore Ravens. And you know what? I'll be fine with that. You get what you deserve, right? If you're willing to trade away a former MVP, not yet in his prime, right? Playing at a high level right this second as we're speaking, then you get what you get. Mm-hmm. Right? And the defense will be whacked too. I don't think they're going to pay Roquan Smith. I don't think they're going to pay him.
They're going to pay him. They're going to pay Roquan because they're not going to want to listen to, oh, well, you gave up a second round pick for Roquan, you didn't get a receiver, and now you're not even keeping him. They're going to pay Roquan, and they're going to trade Patrick Queen.
He can't be. Well, they could franchise him if they trade Lamar. I don't think he's going to be franchised. He's going.
Well, no, they won't be able to, because they'll have to franchise Lamar to trade him.
Yes, that's right.
Because it's not like the NBA where you can do a sign and trade. Like, so he'll be a free agent, but they're going to just give him his money.
He's going to want over $20 million, and I don't think they're going to give him that.
They're going to give him his money. They ain't going to let him walk. I'll tell you that. They're going to let him walk and get a 4th round pick back for him. That ain't going to happen.
Yeah, he can't be traded until January. When's the trade deadline? Oh, well, yeah. Actually, no. The trade deadline is in February, right?
Yeah.
So that's a possibility, but
no, nobody wants DeAndre Ayton.
But I would say they already said that they didn't want that, so I don't see it happening. But
and Nick Claxton is playing well. I mean, KD's slander aside, he's averaging like 11.5, 8.5, and 2 blocks.
Yeah,
they don't need him.
KD's soft. That's all it is. You go to the point where you disrespect your teammates because you want to get out of there. You're soft. I don't want anybody like that on my team. Right? No. You can go. You can go. Just Al says, I'm sick and tired of seeing my QB only throwing for 150 yards a game. Plus, it's boring as hell football. Yeah. Hey, man. It sucks. All right, couple more. Let's get out of here. We're going to fire up the Overtime Show. If you want to be a part of Overtime Show, go over to patreon.com/LBHT Show. That's where you can find us. All right. And we got more football we're going to discuss. We're going to discuss some more Lamar in the Overtime Show if you're interested in that. Diallo says, what's funny is that the 2012 Super Bowl wasn't even won with Harbaugh's philosophy. Flacco was literally airing it out and doing and dotting up defenses. We beat the first seed Broncos in the shootout, and we beat the number 1 defense in the 49ers in the Super Bowl.
But, Harbaugh didn't have the kind of power then that he has now.
Yes.
And that's why immediately after that Super Bowl, he, we talked about it many times. He got rid of every strong personality in the Ravens locker room were gone.
Yeah.
And then they switched up, and this is what you get.
Yeah. Harbaugh said Lamar isn't going anywhere, but Harbaugh has been known to lie, but he needs Lamar. Yeah, I agree. But coaches with their big egos, especially when you have success, they don't believe, right? Like they don't believe that they could be in danger of losing a job, or that it's not really me, it's the players. Like they'll never think that, right? So I'm certain Harbaugh kind of feels that I made Lamar this. It's not the other way around. But yes, he will be fired shortly after Lamar walks out that building, because that team and EDC, because that team isn't put together well. They won't be able to bring in enough talent to recover. They're not going to sell tickets, and it doesn't matter what Bisciotti says, because Bisciotti's a liar too. Bisciotti will say, "Yeah, no, he's safe. He's not going anywhere," and turn around literally the next week and fire him. Okay, it's happened before. So his job, I think they'll both be out shortly after Lamar, and I'll be smiling. Okay. Mr. J6 says KD saying that because he knows no one will Draymond Green his ass behind closed doors. Yeah, that's true. Or look, that's well, we have one of the Morris brothers on there. I think he will. He didn't mention him though. He didn't mention Markeith.
Right.
I wasn't talking about you.
He's not a starter. The bench is great. The bench be keeping us in it.
What's up, Mikey? Mikey says, I'm late, but I'm here. What it do, baby? Yes. Hey, speaking of overtime show, we're going to be talking about Bud Crawford. So come through, Mikey. All right. Yes, Ray Ron, we beat the 49ers twice that year. That's right. But different team, different players, a team full of actual leaders, not this fake leader in Harbaugh. The leader of men. I hate when people say that. He's not a leader. Okay, we are going to wrap it up there. We are an hour and 35 minutes in. Thank you, everybody, for coming through. If you want to hang out a little bit longer, one more time, I'll bring it up here, and I'll take this down. Patreon.com/LBHT Show. Thank you so much for people that are signing up. One Sessions is our newest patron. Really appreciate that. Yes. Everything that you guys do. Thank you for the donations, everything. We put that right back into the show. So shout out to everybody that donated, everybody that's supporting us through Patreon, buying the merch. Okay. All that helps out. Not just this channel, but also Open Mic with OTR Mike, also Ring Kings podcast. Okay, we got a little network going. Got a little network. Okay. So we're going to keep growing. Xavier Smith says is OT on YouTube. OT is right below B. Patreon.com/LBHT Show. Oops, Xavier,
there we go. Right
let me ask you, Xavier. Let me ask you this: do you have $3 in your pocket? Okay. Were you thinking about paying those extra fees for Grubhub? Tell you what, hop in your car, pick it up yourself, save on those fees, and you'll have enough. You'll have enough for a Patreon. Okay, for as little as $3 a month. Okay, or more if you're feeling generous. We got three different tiers. Okay, you can be part of the Overtime Show. Okay, come in there, hang out with us. And once again, if you don't know what we're talking about, I'll bring it up here before we get out of here. That's what we're talking about. Bud Crawford, Lamar Jackson, what do they have in common? They represent themselves. Is that good? Is that bad? And also, a little bonus, we're going to be talking about the Raiders owner being a broke boy. Okay, can't afford to fire his own head coach. Sad, sad, sad.
There you go, baby.
I appreciate you, Xavier. That will also get you into the Discord as well. If you didn't know, yes, Hendo saying the Discord is fire. It is. We have a lot of fun in there. We have a lot of fun. So come hang out with us. All right, B, are you ready?
I am always ready.
All right. Hey, thank you guys very much. Have a great night. Have a great rest of your week, and we will see you next time. Peace out.